So proceeding with this problem here, the way I get the overhead per unit is I look at the total overhead to the total units produced. So I go back and find out how many units did I produce, and that's how much, and that's how I acquired that total overhead per unit itself. Because I know I produced 5,000 snowboards. So when I'm looking at total overhead for snowboards, I divide every single number here by this right here is 6,000. And that's how I get the overhead per unit for each of these activities. So when I'm calculating the profit margin, I have my sales price minus direct labor materials, and then overhead I am grabbing based on the overhead per unit. So for design I have specific overhead per unit, for marketing and for machines. For each product line I have a specific one. Okay? So what I want you guys to do next is we're going to do the homework in class. Now, I want you guys to review it. This is the homework here. And I want you guys to review it. It's posted up on Blackboard. Review it as you study these lectures. Mark down your questions. And in class, we're going to, in groups, perform this whole assignment. And we're going to have some group sharing as to how it gets solved out. At the very end, there are multiple choice, and at the very end, we have a couple of problem sets. We have this problem set here, and we also have the workshop at the very end. And the workshop has to do with I want you to recreate this type of model, this type of Excel model. Okay? But use your own company, put in your own pictures of what it's going to be at in your group. And I want you to create 3 activities like I did here, but it has to pertain more to your business. 3 activities that you created, and with these 3 activities I want you to calculate volume-based profit margin versus activity-based profit margin. Okay, there's an example in the book that you could use. There's the example that we used with the red and black pans that you could look at the PowerPoint, and I would also use this Excel to download it and use that to create it. And you're going to have in group support in order to do that. Now, I want to have a real business aspect of this also. So what I'm going to teach every class is also an entrepreneurial real aspect, more in the real world. And I'm using this model. It's called Book Yourself Solid. It's by Michael Port, and it teaches us how to apply these business ideas that we learn about in the real life world. So with your business, I want you to think about a couple of things. We're gonna do this throughout the whole course, but today we're gonna focus on Module 1 here. It includes the red velvet rope policy, which is choosing the ideal clients. It's like, who do you want to work with your business, who inspires you and energizes you? And then we're going to look at why people buy what you're selling. We want to create a relentless demand for your services. So we're going to identify why are people buying what you're selling. If it's surfboards, if you're selling martial arts gear, or if you're selling mini cupcakes, what is it that you're delivering that they really like about you? And then we're going to look at personal brand, how to identify yourself, how to differentiate yourself, and how to talk about what you do. So first we're going to go over the red velvet rope policy. And this is the idea that you should really be working with clients who you really like. Is the idea that not everybody you should be working with. So if you have a baking shop, for example, maybe you want to sell to exclusive high-end bakeries. You don't want to have your product every single supermarket, because there's a certain taste or a certain flavor to it. So the red velvet rope idea is that you sort of create this barrier, and you're only letting the VIP clients in. Why? Well, your clients are who you are. So if you believe that you're high end and you're elite in what you do, you're gonna have elite sort of clients and an elite sort of mentality. And that's what you want to maintain. That's the kind of fees you want to charge for. So you want to have star clients, and star clients that you have a red velvet rope policy with, so you only let the people in that you want to work with. And then there are a couple more ideas that I want to go over in this, but I'm going to continue with why people buy what you're selling in the next video. So